see me. Fuck it. I can't see you.
Hey, we can see you and the people can see you, man. Coach, I want to say first off, man, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate you jumping on this live stream with us. We were just talking about how a lot of people know you because you got a creative use of the English language, of course, especially the curse words of the English language. You use a lot. You use dick in the most creative ways I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. But you've been in the evaluation game for a long time, and that's the part we really want to. We want to be schooled today, Coach. Talk to us a little bit how this is from that end. As a coach, as prospects going into this, I know there's a lot of BS flying around as far as with the talking heads, the insiders, and all that. What's it like as a player, coach, right now in these moments? Do you have any idea what's going on, or are you totally in the dark here?
Nah, they mostly have done their research, man. They've already made their evaluations and all that. They've done their backgrounds. I've gotten calls from 21 school or NFL team security, NFL security. Wow. Every year I got a guy getting drafted. They call me and ask me a million background questions. So remember, these NFL security guys are former FBI, sheriff, CIA, ex-intelligence. They hire the best of the best, and what happens is they do a background check all the way to elementary school or beyond, man. Wow. So they're going to do a character evaluation first. So these guys already know their character. And now they're going to just say, hey, the eye in the sky don't lie. They're going to figure out what is the best, who has the best film for what they're looking for as a franchise. And then obviously you kind of know what's written on the wall with who's made trades already as far as like a Chicago getting rid of Justin Fields. So you know they're taking a quarterback.
Right.
That's a foregone conclusion. It kind of just is like it kind of works in that way. So they've done their research, and now it's a matter of this morning, Cincinnati Bengals, T. Higgins and Hendrickson informed them they want trade. So now what teams that we don't know about yet, we will in about 11 minutes, what teams have inquired about those two guys that maybe take those guys and now draft differently. So see, there's a huge thing. Let's say a team needs a wideout today, but they got T. Higgins. Now they can change their draft. Now you're going to get a left tackle or a tight end or a pass rusher. So it just changes the thinking. There's going to be a lot of trades, though. I would bet my dollars to dimes on it.
Okay. Hey, Coach, you mentioned Hendrickson and Higgins coming out this morning with that news. Is there any strategy to that? Is there a reason they waited to this morning to drop that news, or for their agent to drop that news, or whoever?
I'm sure it wasn't this morning. I'm sure everybody knew. They just leaked it this morning because it's draft day. So now they hold kind of the keys to the Ferrari, so to speak. So now the team's got now they got to scramble to try to reach out to Cincinnati to see if they can grab those cats before the draft kicks off here in 10 minutes. Gotcha. So they've probably already done that by now. I wouldn't be shocked if they re-signed and restructured. I'm surprised Cincinnati hasn't. All it is a restructure. Hendrickson don't want to leave. Everything I've talked to my, I know the head coach there really well. He's a JUCO product as well. That's awesome. He's basically said the kid wants to stay. It's a matter of restructuring a deal. So all he wants is upfront money as far as guarantee. I'm sure I would bet that Cincinnati does that. It might already have been done. T. Higgins on the other side, let's be honest, all wide receivers are shitbirds.
Shit, bro. Heard it here first. Shitbirds, huh?
Yes, they are. And sometimes quarterbacks are too, Coach. We want to get your ideas on these quarterbacks. Obviously, it's expected that Caleb Williams is going to be the first overall pick here in a couple minutes. And then there's McCarthy. There is, slipping my mind, Daniels. And then, of course, Drake May. Let's talk first with Caleb Williams. I did a little deep dive, Coach, into some of what you said already about Caleb Williams. I saw earlier on Twitter today, you said, fuck it. As long as he's a leader, that's good enough for me. Where are you with Caleb Williams? If you're a Bears fan, are you excited? Are you worried? Where are you at with Caleb?
Well, I didn't say fuck it good enough for me. I said fuck it, I'm tired of dealing with it.
There you
go. Look, man, it is what it is. This is the deal. In the NFL locker room, you could be a weirdo fuck all you want, but if you win, nobody cares. If you are a weirdo fuck and you lose, we got problems.
Russell Wilson.
And that's the issue. If he's gonna wear it, similar to what Colorado and their whole ploy is. If you're gonna make a target and create a big, huge target on your chest, don't be a victim. Don't play victim. Own it. So hopefully he owns it because there's no hiding from it anymore. Because if he is not what Chicago standards think he's supposed to be, the number one pick, you're gonna pay hell to high water if this kid is mediocre. So you got to own it, and then you got to result. Remember, man, this business is results oriented.
Right.
Bottom line, it doesn't matter. We've had some weirdo cats play in this league for a long, long time, and you either shit or get off the pot. The good ones, the cream rises to the top. If this guy's a real baller, so be it. He wouldn't be on my draft board. That's just me.
Okay.
But put it this way, though. The bottom line is the way that we evaluate is on the field, right? That's all we care about.
Right.
I don't think Chicago really paid much into his nails and purses and fucking whatever else, right? I think it comes down to brass tacks. Can he play? So Chicago's going to say, yeah, we flipped the coin. And the truth of the matter is, if Brian Poley, the GM, didn't think his job was at risk, he would have kept Justin Fields, in my gut opinion. He would have kept Justin Fields and then got assets. Because Chicago is not just a quarterback away from being a playoff or a Super Bowl contender. They're not even a quarterback and a number 9 pick at wideout away. They need a lot.
Wow.
So if it was me, I'd have kept Justin Fields, who's been in the league 3 years now, who faced live ammunition already, who's gotten better with a bad roster, probably the second worst O-line, second worst wideout core in football he's had for 3 years, besides the Giants. So saying that, I would have kept Justin and got assets, meaning a left tackle, traded number 1 and got even more assets possibly, kept Justin Fields, kept 9, maybe moved up, maybe they could have got 2. Pick number 2, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would have got some assets. Now that's me. Now it's not happening. Obviously, they're probably taking Caleb. So in that regard, the kid doesn't stand out to me as if someone we haven't seen before. Like, I'm tired of hearing all this. Like, we're acting like this cat is some freak of nature that we've never seen before. This draft class, to be honest, man, just my humble opinion, this quarterback draft class is as weak as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we're not hearing a lot of that, Coach. Talked about that. Like, so up top here, Caleb Williams. I wanted to ask this question because I heard you talk about it on a podcast. You mentioned specifically in the locker room leading men. Now, you've been in a locker room with alpha dog, highly talented football players. Someone like Caleb Williams walks into that kind of locker room. I mean, do you see that working?
Here's the thing, man. It's twofold. I told Jason Whitlock on his show today. It's twofold. Because is it the alpha dogs that are in the locker room anymore?
Oh, wow. Yeah. There you go.
That's the question you got to ask. I don't know if that is, man. We're in the jersey swap era. Everybody's cool with each other.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you left us or you wanted to transfer to another school, and nowadays we see them coming back to the same school after they transfer to another school, that would have never happened with my era. We would have beat the shit out of them, right? Nowadays, it's accepted, dog. It's like, oh, man, it's all good. Like, this is a different era. This is a different locker room. Now, there's still some alphas in there that have already come out and said, don't bring that soft shit here.
Yeah.
The corner Johnson who got re-signed, he already came out and made a statement. Like, I don't
early.
So, like, there's some guys that are like that, but the majority, who do we know? Maybe they're more like Caleb. Here's an interesting take for you, though, so you can have for your audience.
Yeah.
This will be the first Gen Z quarterback ever.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So now you're in the first Gen Z era of quarterback play in the NFL. And you're in a town like Chicago, who is now, they already think this guy's their savior.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how this plays out in this new transformation as we head into this fuckboy generation.
Right. Hey, Coach,
We'll
my co-host Angel, also my brother, he has a question for you.
Coach, I got a great question for you. Zach Wilson was just traded to my Denver Broncos. How much ass is this guy about to get in Denver, Colorado?
Okay.
This guy is the bona fide MILF. This is the bona fide MILF hunter. No, because he talked about it. I'm like, I want to ask this guy because he knows this guy's a MILF hunter, man. How much ass is he about to get?
Jeez.
Well, we changed his name on my show. He was the Mormon MILF Hunter.
Oh.
Now he is the Mile High MILF Hunter.
Hey, that's called a rebrand.
There we go.
Made, and we got a T-shirt created already for the Mile High MILF. I don't know, man. If it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be him, or his mom, or I don't know. His mom's kind of milf hunter. I don't know, man.
Whoa.
Get a picture of his mama.
Yeah, and
Coach.
I know the mom. I actually know the mom. Remember, my good friend and one of my better friends in the world was the head coach at BYU and coached him. So yeah, we follow each other on social media. He's a good kid. I think he's actually talented. I just think he's been in. Nathaniel Hackett is probably the worst possible coordinator for him, and then he also had to replace a guy. Just imagine you're chilling at the house. You've been chilling for weeks. You and your girl. And your check's coming in on normal time. You're relaxed, no issue. And then the check stops coming. Your girl, got caught with another dick in her hand. And what does that do to you?
Yeah.
Changes your world. He was a backup in comfort zone land. He was living life. Aaron Rodgers was the guy. He didn't have a fucking fear in the world, a worry in the world. And then his leg popped, and that motherfucker's his eyes open like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And now I got to go back into this thing with this roster that was ready for Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I'm not judging him off that year. He had he showed some good moments his first year, and I'm curious under Sean Payton has done wonders. If you look at Drew Brees when he was in San Diego with the Chargers compared to with the Saints. You saw a huge uptick. Yeah. You also saw even Jameis Winston play for him and have an uptick. You saw Teddy Bridgewater have a great year underneath Sean Payton when Brees got hurt. You've seen quarterbacks excel, similar to Jim Harbaugh. So I'm curious to see him with him, but I also know they're probably drafting a QB tonight.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. You think they're coming up to get Penix? What do you think of Penix?
16 of 32 teams already said no.
Wow.
Why? Because he's a lefty. So just understand, left-handed quarterbacks just aren't easy to coach, and it's not easy. You have to have a left-handed roster in place already, meaning my left tackle now has to go to be my right tackle. Yeah. And is my right tackle left tackle money worthy? Are we going to pay our right tackle left tackle money? Because now he's my backside protector.
Right.
Everything that you see in the world is right hand, 99% right hand based in the NFL. So we got to now create schemes to get the football in the right hash, to get him to the left. We got to get our run action going right so we can boot and naked left.
Yeah.
Everything has to change in the mind. Everything as a play caller, everything as an offensive guy. And just imagine him going to the Raiders and telling Devontae Adams, who's never had a lefty, hey, we need to move you to the left side where you're used to catching Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, everyone else from the right side. Yeah. Let's move you to the left side. And remember, when you're a right-handed ball thrower, the ball spirals and comes in at you. You throw it right, the ball spirals which way? Now, if a lefty's throwing the ball, it spirals the opposite way. Now, that ball is a very, very awkward one to catch. Ask any receiver in football. Tank Dell, one of my kids for the Texans, will tell you it's not easy. And it's not easy to coach a left-handed quarterback. So, remember, you've had fucking Steve Young and Ken Stabler, and you got Mark Brunell. Let's just be honest. You haven't had a shitload of left-handed success stories.
Right.
That's true.
So you got Tua now, who I think's mid at best. So here you go. There's not a lot of lefties, man. It's hard. So 16 of those teams already shut him down. Now, which team are looking at him and saying, all right, you're 25 or 26. You've been hurt 3 times. We saw you in the Natty, absolutely no show.
Right.
And that was the biggest show on earth. And the lights were the brightest. And you had NFL guys. Michigan's going to have 16 guys drafted, the most of any team. That was the closest he'll get to an NFL team, and he got it in college, and Michigan dominated him after he ripped apart Texas the week before. So that's the difference. Can he do it in the NFL? They got to see a sample size. I think it's deterring some folks. I don't know. I think he can spin it, and Sean King, who's on my show every day, who's on my show tonight, he coached the kid, recruited him since high school. He said he's the best athlete in the draft by far. Best athlete. Remember, he ran a 4.4. He's got a 42-inch vertical. He can windmill. He's a freak.
Yeah.
The problem is he's a lefty. He's older, and he's injury prone.
Yeah.
So are you going to invest in that?
I had a question for you as far as you don't seem too impressed with this quarterback class. If you're sitting there as the Commanders or the Patriots, are you saying just, screw these quarterbacks, I'll wait till next year and go get Marvin Harrison Jr. or one of these other Joe Alt or one of these other high-end players at other positions than quarterback?
You said next year, or you mean next position?
So, sorry, grab a position player this year, kick the can down the road, get a quarterback next year.
Well, they forward think. All these guys, they got 35 scouts in the room there that are forward thinking. There's some already out right now at spring games all this week, not even at the draft because they're out looking for next year's talent, right? So each team has those guys out there right now, different parts of the country. So they're already looking. Is there that guy? Does that guy exist in college right now? So who is it? Quinn Ewers?
Texas,
who's the QB out there right now?
Shedeur Sanders, right?
I don't believe in it, and I know you don't believe in it, but Shedeur Sanders is a name we see jumped around. I know, right? I know that's not your guy, but
Coach, he played well this year.
Okay,
he played well this year.
Okay, I want to take on Jason Brown about Shedeur Sanders.
I'm just that's my
opinion. I'm just saying. Listen, Shedeur Sanders is stiff as a porn dick.
Oh,
and the bottom line is he's not. Tell me who he's different than in this draft right now.
Yeah.
Like what stands out from him? His arm is super average. He's very stiff, and in this world, you have to have what? Feet and be able to run. He's not a runner. He can extend plays with his feet, but he is not a freak of nature getting out of trouble. Kyler Murray, Lamar, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams. He's not any of those guys. Let's be honest. He's a pocket guy with an average arm at 6'2". So what really stands out with him? What's going to make him so different? So that's where you got to ask yourself. I don't see it at all. And I think the quarterback class next year is even worse than this year.
Oh, yeah. God.
Coach, we got one more question for you, then we'll let you go, man. We appreciate your time. Terrell Thurgood here is going to ask you a question.
Hey, Coach, this is Terrell here. I got a question for you. There's a lot of talk about potentially the Chargers trading Justin Herbert, moving on from him. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, on them making the decision, maybe to Harbaugh getting McCarthy, trading Justin Herbert? What's your take on that?
I don't want to say the word on your show. Mentally ill.
You can say it, Coach.
Just say it.
First of all, Jim Harbaugh left Michigan because the NCAA is number one. Number two is he wanted to coach Justin Herbert. So I don't think you trade for a guy. First-year coaches don't trade franchise quarterbacks because then if you don't win the whole thing, you're going to have your fucking motorhome egged in Huntington Beach.
Yeah. So
let's just be honest. So like he would be committing like coaching suicide if he were to trade him. His first operation as a head coach is trade Justin Herbert. He already got rid of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. He's gutting this thing from bottom to top. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Joe Alt or Fanuga, tackle from Oregon State, who's the best one in the draft in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked there, or I wouldn't be shocked if he traded down for more picks.
Yeah.
So he's got to build, and he's not. Let me ask you this: is he just one player away from a Super Bowl? No, and he knows it. And he's in a division with Patrick Mahomes, and the Raiders are on the upside. Denver, who knows? Sean Payton's a Super Bowl winning guy. We've seen some things there. So he's in that division. He's not one player away. So that's the thing. So I think he knows that. He's going to build it organically the right way like he did in Frisco. He knows what he's doing as far as all this goes. I think whatever he does tonight, we trust it. I'd be shocked if he got rid of him and got J.J. McCarthy. But we will see some shocking moments tonight. I don't think that would be one, but who knows? I've been wrong before.
Before we let you go here, Coach, any predictions on the shocking moment we can maybe expect?
If the Raiders jump to 2,
wow,
take Jaden Daniels, can they do it? Number one, this is the thing. You're going to see who's running the program there tonight. Because if they move to 2, then you know that AP runs the program.
Right.
If they don't, then you know it's Davis and the GM, Selesco.
Yeah.
So you're going to find out real quick if you have full autonomy as a head coach, which we know the full autonomy having coaches are the ones that win in this league. And are they going to give AP, a rookie head coach, full autonomy? And you're going to see it tonight. He recruited a kid right out of my backyard here at Cajon High School, Jaden Daniels, to Arizona State. Got a relationship with the parents and him. It makes sense, but can they jump 11 spots or even 10 spots? It'd be 11 to get him. I think Washington takes Jaden Daniels. If they don't, they'd be a fool. They got rid of Sam Howell already.
Yeah.
So that's going to be number one. Number two, what the Chargers do is interesting, and what the Giants do at 6. If the Giants move up, which I'm hearing they could, it has to be for a quarterback, and you've wasted $160 million on Danny Dimes. So it's going to be interesting with the Giants, what they do at 6. I'm interested on what the Chargers do at 5, because remember, the Chargers really have pick number 1.
Yeah,
right.
Think about it. They actually have the first pick in the draft because they have a quarterback. They don't need one.
Right.
So understand the first 3 picks are quarterbacks. Number 4 in Arizona is a receiver. So in theory, you have a guy in Herbert that now I'm thinking, what do I need to do at the number 1 pick? Do I get Joe Alt? Do I take a left tackle? Do I take a big time receiver? There'll be 3 or 4 big time receivers even after Arizona takes Harrison.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Do they jump and get a tight end in Bowers? Generational difference in tight end? I don't think so. I don't think he goes that early. Tight ends usually don't, but we'll see. It's going to be some interesting stuff. It's starting up right now. Eminem's coming out, I guess.
I've seen that.
It's going to be interesting, man. We got some bets in on some things. This is the question. I'll leave your audience with this.
Yeah.
Will there be a defensive player drafted in the top 10? That should be your question because it hasn't happened since 1970, and I don't know if there'll be an NFL player drafted in the top 10. The only issue, and I bet, by the way, $1,000 on it, plus 580 on DraftKings. The reason I'm saying it, the only issue I have is if the Atlanta Falcons take a pass rusher.
Yeah.
That's the only defensive guy I see in the top 10. Everyone else is offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much,
Yes,
Coach.
Hey, our
Thank you,
listeners
Coach.
right now, go subscribe to the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. It's a great show. Coach, also very excited for Real Chance True. Go check that out, too. That's coming out, I believe, in September, right, Coach?
Yeah, Last Chance True. Yep.
That's going to be amazing. Basically, Last Chance You from your perspective, correct?
A true story.
Yep.
So that's going to be awesome. Go check that out. Hey, one more time, thanks so much, Coach JB.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Take care, man. Have a good draft.